Hey, congratulations. You found our podcast. Whether it's through apps or it's through YouTube, welcome to the Entrepreneurship 101 with Creative Muscle Studios. I'm Greg Patton. Joining me is Irina Hall. Irina, you are the founder of Creative Muscle Studios. Give people a little background. What exactly is Creative Muscle Studios?
So Creative Muscle Studios is our video production and filmmaking company that I started back in 2016. And everyone always asks me, why Creative Muscle? So here's a little backstory on that. I read somewhere the term of creative muscle being used in the context of creativity is like a muscle. You always need to train it, and you always need to be on top of it. You don't want to be stuck, and you always want to be progressing. I thought that was a great idea, and I need to make sure myself that I always keep improving on the creative side, and that I always search for ways to get better in my creativity and creative expression. And so I thought, I need to name my company Creative Muscle Studios to remind myself of that all the time.
I always thought when I first met you that when you introduced the company that was a great name in terms of, because it always gets people talking from the standpoint of where would that come from? What exactly does that mean to people?
It turned out like a great conversation starter, because when I say, hey, my company is called Creative Muscle Studios, they're like, what? Why? Why is that? And I tell them the story and they go like, oh, this is really cool. This is a cool name. I'm like, cool.
So when it comes to creativity, where do you think your creativity first started?
I would go back to my childhood when I was training in ballet, and ballet was my big passion. And I wanted to become a professional dancer, but it didn't work out. However, I always enjoyed being on stage. I always enjoyed performing and being a character on stage, but I was lacking an element of speaking, because as a dancer, what I was taught on stage is just smile, always smile.
Yeah.
All the dances that I was participating in, they were always all about smiling.
Sure.
But in reality, not all the roles are happy and smiling, and some of them can be sad, and some different emotions can be expressed. But all the dances that I was in, just smile. I'm like, all right, but I can do something else too. And I lacked the side of speaking also, and using my voice to communicate with the audience as well. And then that's why when I moved to the United States, I went to an acting school, and I started acting in theater and in films, and I enjoyed that tremendously. And this is also another passion of mine, and I find a lot of creative outlet in acting and being on stage.
So from the standpoint of I've gotten to know you, the process that you like is very much how you would build a film. That's how you approach most of your work on a day-to-day basis. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. I like being very detailed, and I just love the process that I borrowed from acting, which is analyzing your character and getting inside of your character.
Oh, now I can speak to this because there you've got a spreadsheet that has almost, I would say, 500 characteristics maybe of motivations of characters and how you would be looking at it.
It's not 500, it's much less, but you can go as far as you want to go when you create your character, because you want to know your character as well as you know yourself, or maybe even better sometimes. Because when you become a character, you need to be that character. You need to be that person who has all this background of everything that they have lived through from their birth to the specific moment that is happening in the scene. And every character is a sum of everything that was happening to them before this certain moment. The same as every person is.
So would you say from the standpoint of motivations, background, characteristics is what you're looking for when you go through that process?
Yeah. I like borrowing that process in applying it to business as well. And what I say is I need to know my audience the same way as I would know my characters in acting. And I would learn everything about them in the same way I need to learn everything about my audience and get inside of their heads and know exactly what their motivations are, what drives them, what makes them pull their credit card out and buy my products and services and pay for my video production services and directing services.
So when we get into starting this podcast, the very first question most people are going to ask, if we haven't lost you already, because it's, it's probably been 2 minutes on characteristics, and I know that may not have been what you thought you were going to get, but these podcasts are free-flowing. They are going to be about stream of consciousness in addition to talking about set topics. Why a podcast, Irina? Why would you do a podcast?
Because I started my own company from scratch, and I've been through ups and downs, and I've been figuring out everything on my own. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are doing the same thing, and they are just as passionate about their business as I am. And I want to share my experience with them, and I want to help them, and I want to form this community that supports each other, entrepreneurs that are going together on their way of growing their businesses, helping each other grow, and learning how to be better and how to improve.
And that gets me to something that I think I always was impressed by when I joined the company, which was your commitment to working with small businesses. I like how you have an ideal of why you want to work with small businesses. Can you explain to people who may not be familiar with the ideal that why you are so dedicated to working with small businesses?
Sure. Like I said, I started my company on my own by myself without any budget, and I'm running a small business myself, and I know all the struggles, and I know how hard it is for small businesses to market themselves when they're just starting out and they don't have those big corporate budgets to waste on their marketing. And video is one of the most powerful tools in marketing that you can use to get in front of your audience and to connect with your audience. And other filmmaking and video production companies, they're just not willing to work with small businesses because they don't have this type of budgets. And I think it's important to provide this opportunity for small businesses to have access to videos so they could grow and they could expand their audience and they could be able to make those bigger, better productions in the future. But there are solutions that they can use right now to start right now with their small budgets and start connecting with their audience.
And I think you said the magic word right there, which is solutions, which is what we're going to get to now. With regards to small business, when you're a new business starting out, what advice would you give them in regard to posting their video through various platforms right now?
When it comes to posting videos, you need to be consistent. Choose how often you want to post and just stay with it. If you want to post once a week, you post once a week. If you say it's too often, I don't have so much content for it, okay, post once a month. If once a month is too often for you, post every other month. But make sure you stay consistent because you build that expectation that your audience sees and they wait for your next post. They wait for your next video. So make sure you're always consistent.
So backing up on that, what about if it's advice in regard to a brand new business? I haven't done any video yet. What is the best way for me to get my message out there through video?
Make a short, simple introductory video. We call those videos elevator pitch videos because they highlight your business. They show who you are as a business owner. They show your behind-the-scenes operations, your employees, your products, your processes. They provide the credibility to show to your potential customer that you are a real business, you have real people behind your business, you make real products or you do real work, and this is what it all looks like.
When you talk about the ideal of showing an elevator pitch style video, the first thing with new businesses is you say to them, okay, it's going to cost this. What do you say to a new business who's a little skeptical about spending the money on video marketing?
I say, first of all, video marketing is the fastest and easiest way to connect. And if they don't invest in it right now, they're losing out on their audience. They're losing out. And the longer they wait, the more money they could be making right now by connecting with their audience.
Okay, so we talked about the new businesses. What about a business who is in this area where you're 1 to 3 years? You've done some marketing. Okay, maybe my marketing in videos didn't work. Maybe I didn't have the right message. Maybe I didn't have the right type of video. What would you say to that business in regard to them getting their message out?
I would say they just need to start making customer testimonial videos, because if they have been in business for a little bit, they have a number of those happy customers that will go out and brag about their business. They will just tell everybody how happy they are with it. And those businesses, they need to cultivate these customers. This is their tribe. And just let them speak for you. Put them in front of the camera. They will be authentic. It's going to be more credible because it's not you as a business owner talking about your business. It's someone else who has no financial interest in promoting your business, but they're just genuinely happy to be your client, to be working with you, and they're happy about the help that you give them.
What would a customer's testimonial video look like?
So we would record an interview with your customer. They will be talking on camera, and also we can show how your customer actually uses your products or uses your services, or how they interact with your staff. It depends on what nature of business you're in.
Okay, so we've talked about new businesses. We've talked about established businesses. What if I'm a company and I've done video marketing, I've done video advertising on social media, and I feel like I have not gotten the results that I want? What is the best course of action for me?
Okay, well, I can't really answer that question right away because I don't know exactly what you have done. And it depends on different factors. It depends on what type of videos you made, how you used them, how often you were posting, because consistency is key here. If you start something, make sure you keep doing it. And it will take you a little bit of time before you see some results. You might not see the results right away. You might see the results right away. But like, for example, we had a makeup artist we made a video for, and she posted her 30-second video on a Facebook channel, and she never had videos done before. And she comes back to me and says, Irina, this is amazing. I got so much response from my video, and I got so many likes and comments, much more than to anything I ever posted before. So right away that worked. That might not work for you right away the same way, but you need to stay consistent with it, and you need to have a strategy on how you approach it. Also, make sure that you don't just post it out there and you sit there and wait for the results to come. You need to be active about it. You need to be actively promoting your topic and promoting your video, and you need to start conversations with your audience and be actively engaging with them on the topics that they are interested in, and use it in a combination with other tools like other social media posts, blog posts, podcasts, other things that you do, but don't just use it alone. It's a great tool, but it works even better in a combination with other tools.
I would say when it comes to getting any kind of testimonials, think of them the same way that you do referrals. So many people are scared to ask for the referral while they're working with a client who they have had great success with. Your testimonial videos need to be in the same kind of vein as referrals. Is if you know you have a client who is willing to go to bat for you and who is willing to talk about why they chose you over someone else, I truly believe that you should be doing testimonial videos just from that alone, especially if you've seen in the past where you felt, I didn't get the bump. I didn't get the bounce that I was looking for from the marketing that I was doing. So let's transition to, I think, what will be the big question is we talked about all the different types of businesses that have to use video marketing. What can I do right now that's going to change the conversation for my video content?
Well, first of all, focus on your audience. Like I was talking before about researching your audience and your target market, know what they're interested in. Know what makes them tick. Know what they're looking for. And talk about it. Talk about those topics. They don't have to be related directly to your products or services, but they are related to your audience. And they can be related indirectly to what you do. This way you position yourself as an expert in your industry, and they will come to you next time when they have a question, or if they have a problem that they need to solve and you solve that problem, they will come to you versus someone else, someone who's your competitor.
So when someone comes to you looking for solutions, what's the first thing that you tell them if they've been one of those people who's been shooting video on the phone regularly and they haven't done professional videos?
And if they want to continue shooting on their phone?
Well, they're going to do that regardless, but why would they pick a professional video over shooting on their phone?
Oh, I mean, come on. Professional video is so much better.
Hey, I know the answer to this. I'm just asking you to tell them.
It looks better. It sounds better. It just builds an image. It builds the proper image of your company. Because if you try to build your brand and your image on shaky, vertical iPhone videos, it says something about your brand. But when you put this nice, professionally done, great looking video on your website, on your social media, it raises your brand value right away.
So we've had clients who have had professional videos done who previously were doing iPhone videos as marketing, who go, oh my God, I got all this response basically from people who came out and said that looked so good, and why, where can I go and work with those people kind of attitude.
Exactly, yeah. And the same, like I was talking about the makeup artist before, she was doing Facebook Live all the time. She's very consistent with it. She shoots her videos on her phone all the time. She posts them. But once she put our video out, it was a whole different level. She was shocked. She said, I never had this much response from any streams, any Facebook Lives that I've done before. So it makes a huge difference right away.
All right, so we're going to wrap up this podcast, but obviously, since we are Creative Muscle Studios, we do like to promote ourselves. So, Irina, tell the people how they can get in touch with us.
You can go to our website, which is creativemusclestudios.com, and you can take a look at what we got, our portfolio, and you can also email us at info@creativemusclestudios.com with any types of questions you have and anything that we can help you with.
And you can check out the portfolio there, the current offers, and schedule basically a consultation so we can go over your video marketing. Well, that's going to do it for the first episode. We'd like to thank VoiceOver City for providing the facilities today for us to do our first podcast in. We're going to be consistent about this because we told people that if they have to be consistent in their video marketing, we have to be consistent in doing this podcast. So we're going to basically come up with something witty by the next podcast on what to say at the end. We don't have it. I know most podcasts have one, but we don't have one yet. Yeah,
maybe you guys can help us out with that and put in the comments or email us or, connect with us on social media. Let us know.
I really appreciate any feedback anybody will give us on the podcast and let us know what they think. We really want to make this for entrepreneurs to basically focus on core issues that they're facing every day. And it also gives us a great opportunity to talk about the video content that we're producing on a daily basis.
Right. And we want to make this interactive as well. So if you want us to talk about certain topics, feel free to let us know.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for today. I'm Greg Patton.
Irina Hole.
And we're Creative Muscle Studios, and we will talk to you next time.
See you later.
Bye.